Good evening. Time now for Prime Sports with me, Muftau Nabila Abdullahi. On Tuesday, August 12th, the Ghana Football Association Congress assembled at the Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence to approve a part of its proposal that recommended that the tenure of the GFA president should be extended from 2 to 3 terms. Prior to that, one of the voices of dissent was Faisal, and they went to even local courts trying to stop the Ghana Football Association from proceeding to have that Congress. Well, after the successful approval or acclamation of the proposal that was submitted to them, Faisal decided to drag the Ghana Football Association to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. And a submission was sent to the CAS court on September 1. Let's take a look at the response that the club got from the Court of Arbitration for Sport. And it says that this is rather the document that was submitted to the Court of Arbitration for Sport by Faisal through his lawyer, Evans Adika. And some of the arguments that they made were that they believed that the Ghana Football Association, there was some level of conflict of interest because the chairperson who supervised the Congress is one person who was going to benefit from the outcome of the approval of that proposal. Hence, there's a certain level of conflict of interest there per the document that has been submitted. And Faisal also goes on to talk about the fact that they believe that the Ghana Football Association did not present or submit the statutes that were approved by the now defunct Normalization Committee before the Registrar of Companies. That is one area that Faisal has spoken about. And they also say that there was an abridged period without the unanimous consent of members. And then also undisclosed real and potential conflicts of interest. That's what I just mentioned a couple of minutes ago. And then improper bundling of issues voted on and overvoting. And then denial of poll after a show of hands. And then undue influence. This is what Faisal is saying. And the Court of Arbitration for Sport has responded to the document that Faisal submitted to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. And the court says that they have given the Ghana Football Association 72 hours to respond to these claims that have been made by Faisal. And a portion of the CAS letter also says that if the Ghana Football Association fails to respond to the points that have been raised by Faisal, what it means is that CAS will proceed to give a decision on the matter. Faisal also wants the issue to be expedited. The Court of Arbitration for Sport has written to the Ghana Football Association to consent to that aspect. And they say that if the Ghana Football Association fails to respond, then they will proceed to give a verdict on the issue. So this is what CAS says. They acknowledge the statement of appeal filed by the Court of Arbitration for Sport, which is the CAS, dated September 1, 2025, and sent by email and courier on 2nd September 2025 on behalf of Faisal. And then they go on to say that some documents were attached, and one there is a CAS letter of September 4, 2025, appellant's email of September 4, 2025, CAS letter of September 9, 2025, and appellant's email of September 5, 2025, September 9 rather. So they go on to say that pursuant to Article S20 of the Code of Sports related arbitration applicable to the present proceedings, the present arbitration has been assigned to the Appeals Arbitration Division of the CAS and shall therefore be dealt with according to Articles R47. And this R47 is where they talk about expedition of issues. To ease further communication, the respondent is requested, so they're asking the Ghana Football Association to make available an email, if any, and that of their lawyer, so that they can have further engagement with the person. And as I mentioned earlier, Faisal says that they want the matter to be expedited in accordance with Article R52 of the Code, and the respondent is invited, which is the Ghana Football Association here. They have been invited within 3 days from the receipt of this letter by courier, whether it agrees with the appellant's request In case of objection or in the absence of a reply from the Ghana Football Association, the Court of Arbitration for Sport would proceed to give a verdict. Now, let's move on and talk about an issue that happened on February 2 early this year. It had to do with Kumasi Asante Kotoko fan Nana Yam Frimpong, affectionately called Nana Pole. He was stabbed to death during a Ghana Premier League match between Kumasi Asante Kotoko and now defunct Instructman FC. 7 months after the killing of the Kumasi Asante Kotoko fan, lawyer of the Porcupine Warriors, lawyer Safo Duku, says that the investigation process has been quite slow.
The matter is pending in courts. So it's for the state. This is a criminal matter. So it's for the state. Last Wednesday we were in court. The matter was adjourned to the 9th of October to see if by then the police would have received their forensic report from Accra. We sent some exhibits to Accra for forensic reports. That will help them in their prosecution. So we are only waiting for the forensic report, after which they will forward the entire docket to the Attorney General Department for their final advice. Once the matter is in court, we cannot go deeply into it. All that we are hoping for is for the processes to be sped up. But we cannot put any blame on anybody because of the nature of our judicial system. It has always been slow, but definitely one day the court will make a determination as to whether the 8 people who are standing trial now had any hand in the gruesome murder of our departed brother. But that is in the hands of the courts. We'll let them to decide.
More stories on myjoyonline.com. We appreciate your time.